Okay. If you are listening to this right now, just stop scrolling for a second. Seriously.
Yeah, take a look at the calendar.
Right, check the date.
Yes.
It is Friday, February 20, 2026. And we really need to mark this moment because something pretty historic just happened in the digital universe today.
It really did.
Because we talk about big numbers on this deep dive all the time,
Yeah.
right? Tech valuations or data breaches, population shifts. But today we are talking about a very specific group of people, 100 million of them to be exact.
Which is just an absolutely staggering figure.
Yeah.
And to put that in perspective for you, if this subscriber base were an actual physical country, it would be, I think, the 15th or 16th largest nation on Earth.
That is wild.
Yeah, you were talking about a digital population bigger than Vietnam, bigger than Germany, even bigger than the UK.
It's hard to even visualize that.
Mm-hmm.
And this country of people, they haven't gathered for a political movement. They haven't gathered for a massive tech launch.
No, they've gathered on a single YouTube page.
Exactly. As of today, BLACKPINK has officially become the first artist to reach 100 million subscribers on YouTube.
It's a massive milestone, and I think we need to be really clear about the distinction here. We have seen content creators hit this number before.
Right, the native YouTube creators.
Exactly like Mr. Beast or T-Series Cocomelon, but BLACKPINK is the first musical act to ever do it.
And that's exactly what we're unpacking today. This isn't just some congratulations segment. We really need to look at the data, the geography, and specifically the content strategy that allowed a K-pop group to become the first official artist channel to hit 9 figures.
Because honestly, when you look at the raw numbers, this shouldn't have been possible given their schedule over the last few years.
Yeah, it's a mystery we're going to try to solve for you today.
Because when you dig into the source material, the view counts the location data and the sheer velocity of their fandom, it really becomes a masterclass in global audience connection.
So let's dive right in. First off, I want to clarify something you just mentioned. You call them an official artist channel.
Right.
Is that actually different from just, being a YouTuber who happens to sing?
Yeah, it's a very specific designation by YouTube. So a few years ago, the platform consolidated everything.
Oh, right. Because it used to be super messy.
Very messy. Before, an artist might have a Vivo channel for their music videos and then maybe a separate channel for vlogs.
And label channels.
Exactly. So an official artist channel aggregates all of that into one place. It is the single source of truth. So for BLACKPINK to hit 100 million there, it means they have successfully consolidated an audience that is normally fragmented across a bunch of different platforms.
Okay, so the big headline today is obviously the 100 million. But YouTube didn't just send them a generic automated email, right? I imagine at this level, the recognition is a bit more tangible.
Definitely tangible. There's a whole hierarchy to these awards.
Right, you get the silver play button for 100,000.
Gold for 1 million, diamond for 10 million. But there isn't really a standard protocol for 100 million because, well, almost nobody ever does it.
It's totally rarefied air.
It is. So YouTube presented BLACKPINK with a custom Red Diamond Creator Award.
A red diamond. I mean, that sounds like a prop from an Indiana Jones movie.
It does sound exclusive, and it really is. Only a handful of channels in the entire history of the internet have received one. And the language YouTube actually used in their statement today is super fascinating. They referred to BLACKPINK as a dynamic female powerhouse.
Powerhouse is a pretty strong word for a corporate statement.
It is, and I think it's doing a lot of heavy lifting there. It implies that this channel isn't just a static library or a repository for music videos.
Right, it's an engine.
Exactly, an engine. It drives culture. YouTube also noted that this award recognizes a journey of transcending borders with music.
And I want to stick a pin in that transcending borders phrase, because when we get to the geography data later, it is actually a massive understatement.
Oh, absolutely.
But before we get to the who and the where, we really have to talk about the what. Because you don't get 100 million people to hit subscribe without a serious content library backing it up.
Correct. You have to remember that subscribers are usually a lagging indicator.
Meaning what exactly?
Meaning the number reflects past success. You don't subscribe for what you hope will happen. You subscribe because you really liked what you just saw.
That makes sense.
And when we look at BLACKPINK's channel, the reason for that success is what YouTube calls the billion views club.
The billion views club. I love that phrasing. It sounds like a VIP lounge.
It effectively is a VIP lounge. And BLACKPINK's channel currently houses 9 specific entries in this club. 9 different videos that have crossed the 1 billion view mark.
Okay, let's actually run through these because I think the variety is really surprising. Obviously, you have the massive cinematic music videos.
The ones everyone knows.
Right. DDU, DDU, DU. Kill This Love, Boom Bayad, As If It's Your Last, and Pink Venom. These are the high-budget, glossy productions we completely expect from top-tier K-pop.
Right, these are the tent poles. They're absolute visual spectacles.
But then you see something else on the list that I honestly didn't get at first. How you like that?
But which version?
That's the crazy thing. Both versions are on the list.
Yep.
The official music video is there, sure. But the How You Like That dance performance video is also in the Billion Views Club.
And this is where it gets really interesting for me as a data analyst.
But I have to push back on this a bit. I've seen these dance videos. It's usually just a static camera in a brightly lit practice room.
Just them in their regular clothes, usually.
Yeah, maybe the lighting is okay, but there are no special effects, no story, no elaborate costume changes. How on earth does a raw practice video outperform million-dollar productions from other massive artists?
Well, you're looking at it like a passive viewer. You're sitting there thinking, is this entertaining to watch like a movie? But that's not how the fans are actually using these videos.
So how are they using them?
They're using them as tutorials. It speaks directly to the participatory nature of modern fandom.
Oh, I see.
People aren't just watching to be entertained by the visuals. They are watching to learn. They are actively breaking down the choreography frame by frame.
So it turns the viewing experience from something passive into something super active.
Exactly. You watch the music video once or twice for the spectacle of it all, but you watch the dance performance 50 times to learn the moves yourself.
So they're watching it on a loop to figure out, okay, does the left foot go back here on this beat or the right foot?
Precisely. That drives repeat viewing in a way that a standard narrative music video just never could. It essentially gamifies the view count.
That makes so much sense. It's functional content. It's a utility, not just entertainment.
Exactly. And while we're on the topic of their library, we also have to talk about the solo power here. Because when we say BLACKPINK has 100 million subscribers, it's super easy to just think of them as one single monolith.
Right, the group.
Yeah.
But they are actually 4 very distinct brands.
4 distinct superstars under one umbrella. And the source material highlights this perfectly. It's not just the group video sitting in the Billion Club.
No, you've got Lisa's exclusive performance video for Money on that list.
Yep.
And Jennie's music video for Solo is there too.
That is a critical piece of the puzzle. If you have 4 members and they all release solo projects on the exact same channel, you are effectively quadrupling your entry points for new fans.
It's a total portfolio approach.
Exactly. If someone discovers Lisa, because they are super into rap or heavy dance choreography, they subscribe to the BLACKPINK channel. If someone else discovers Rosé or Jisoo for entirely different reasons,
They hit subscribe on the exact same channel.
right, they aggregate all that individual star power into one massive metric.
So you have the full group hitting billions, the functional dance practice is hitting billions, and the individual solos hitting billions. It's like a 3-pronged attack.
It is, but you have to remember that is all historical data. That explains how they built the foundation over the last decade.
Okay.
To really understand the 100 million subscriber count today, we have to shift gears and look at velocity.
Velocity. So we're talking about speed.
The speed of fandom. How quickly do these millions of people show up when something brand new drops? Because that is the true test of an active subscriber base.
Right, because anyone can accumulate numbers if you give them 10 years.
Yeah.
But can you mobilize a small army in 10 minutes?
Exactly. I mean, you probably subscribe to channels you haven't watched in 5 years.
Oh, absolutely. They're just collecting dust in my feet.
But the active fans, they show up on day one. And in the world of YouTube, the gold standard metric for measuring this is the 24-hour debut.
How many views you can generate in the first exact 24 hours of a release.
And looking at the charts, BLACKPINK is seemingly unbeatable in this arena. They claim 3 of YouTube's top 10 all-time 24-hour music debuts.
Top 10 all time. That puts them up there with BTS and, well, actually, mostly just BTS and Taylor Swift territory.
Yeah.
Let's look at the specific numbers for a second. Pink Venom.
90.4 million views
In 24 hours.
in a single day. Just think about the scale of that. 90.4 million times someone clicked play. That is roughly the entire population of the United Kingdom plus Australia watching a video in one single day.
That is honestly frightening. In a good way.
Mm-hmm.
But it's an absurd amount of eyeballs.
It really is. And then you have How You Like That, again at 86.3 million views in 24 hours. And Ice Cream, their collab with Selena Gomez at 79 million views.
And we should definitely note that Lisa appears on this top 10 list individually as well. Her solo track, Lisa, hit 73.6 million views in 24 hours.
So when they drop content, the world quite literally stops to watch.
But I want to go back to something you mentioned earlier, that phrase transcending borders.
Right.
Because getting 90 million views in a single day requires a globally coordinated effort.
Yeah.
You simply cannot hit those numbers if only one time zone is awake.
No, you can't. To get a record like that, you need a continuous relay race of viewership around the planet. When Asia goes to sleep, Europe needs to wake up and take the baton. When Europe sleeps, the Americas need to come online.
So let's look at the geography data, because the source material breaks down where their 3.3 billion views from the last 12 months actually came from. And I have to be honest, I was genuinely surprised by this.
What stood out to you the most?
Well, I just assumed South Korea would be number one. I mean, it's K-pop, it's their home base. The K is right there in the name.
And that is a very common assumption. But if you look at the raw data, South Korea generated 277 million views, which is a huge number, don't get me wrong.
Sure.
But it is not their biggest market on YouTube. It's not even in the top 3.
It's not even the only one in the 200 millions. Look at India.
India is a massive market for them. 223 million views in just the last year.
And Indonesia.
218 million views.
Okay, so you have East Asia, South Asia, and Southeast Asia. That makes complete sense regionally. But then you cross the ocean. Look at Mexico.
182 million views coming from Mexico alone.
That is incredible. And it's actually edging out the United States, right?
It is neck and neck. The United States brought in 180 million views. So Mexico actually generated more views for BLACKPINK over the last year than the US did.
And Brazil is right behind them with 168 million. Okay, you got to help me understand this.
Yeah.
Why Latin America? What is the connection between a Korean girl group and millions of fans in Mexico and Brazil? That feels like a massive cultural leap.
It might seem like a leap linguistically, but culturally there is actually a ton of synergy there. K-pop and BLACKPINK specifically relies on high-energy performance, maximalist visuals, and very strong, highly dedicated fandom structures.
Right.
And that mirrors the music and pop culture in Latin America very closely. The energy matches perfectly.
That makes a lot of sense. If you look at that list, Korea, India, Indonesia, Mexico, US, Brazil, you are looking at a truly diversified global portfolio.
Completely. This isn't a regional success story anymore. They aren't niche anywhere. They are mainstream everywhere.
But how did they actually build that specific connection? Because it's one thing to just have catchy songs, but you have to actively engage people to get them to hit subscribe. You can't just upload a video from Seoul and magically hope Brazil watches it.
No, you have to innovate the format itself. And the sources mentioned a couple of key strategies that I think were absolutely pivotal in turning casual listeners into dedicated subscribers.
Okay, let's hear them.
One major turning point was back in 2021 with The Show.
Oh, right, The Show. That was their big live stream concert.
It was their first ever live stream concert experience, and they partnered directly with YouTube to do it. Now remember the context here. It's 2021. The world was still heavily navigating the pandemic.
Physical touring was entirely impossible.
Exactly. So they brought the tour directly to the laptop, and by doing it as a paid partnership with YouTube, they legitimized the platform as a live venue.
It wasn't just an archive of old videos anymore.
Right. It was the place where the live event was happening right now.
Yeah.
That trains the user behavior. The fans think I need to be subscribed here and have notifications on so I don't miss the actual event.
That is smart. And then in 2022, they did something that I think really tapped into that dance performance energy we were just talking about.
Yeah.
The Pink Venom Challenge.
This is a classic example of UGC, or user-generated content, done perfectly. They explicitly invited BLinks, which is their fandom name, to show off their own creative takes on the choreography.
But wait a second. Usually record labels hate that kind of thing. If I upload a video of myself dancing to a copyrighted song, doesn't it usually just get hit with a takedown notice?
Historically, yes, the industry fought it. But K-pop labels and BLACKPINK's strategy team specifically flipped that entirely on its head.
How so?
They realized that if you actively challenge your fans to dance, a few really important things happen. First, the fan has to go watch the original video 20 times just to learn the routine.
Which artificially boosts the official view count.
Right. Then they film themselves. Then they upload it to YouTube Shorts using the specific hashtag.
Yeah.
Then their friends watch that video.
Oh, well.
It creates this massive viral loop that acts as completely free marketing. It turns the audience into the distribution network.
It's brilliant. Instead of fighting the internet, they just surfed it.
Exactly. And that deep level of engagement is exactly why the subscriber numbers are so high. But I want to pivot for a second to the human element you mentioned in the intro.
Sure.
Because we are sitting here celebrating this massive number 100 million, But if we look at the timeline, the group has actually been, well, kind of absent.
Yeah, that's the giant elephant in the room, isn't it?
Yeah.
They recently concluded this massive world tour, 33 shows across 16 cities. But in terms of actually releasing new music as a full group, it's been incredibly quiet.
Very quiet.
And yet the channel just kept growing. Usually if a YouTuber stops uploading, the algorithm punishes them severely. People forget and unsubscribe. How did they survive a 3-year hiatus?
Well, the hiatus is effectively over now, but to answer your question, I think it comes down to the scarcity principle.
Okay.
By not flooding the market with content constantly, they made every single release an absolute event.
You don't take it for granted if it only happens once every few years.
Exactly. And now all that pent-up pressure is about to release.
Because the breaking news today isn't just about the subscriber count. There is a massive return happening.
That's right. According to the announcement, BLACKPINK is returning as a full group for the first time in 3 whole years.
3 years. I mean,
Yeah.
in internet time, that is a geologic era.
It really is.
TikTok trends change entirely every 3 days. 3 years is an absolute eternity to step away.
It's incredibly risky. Usually a 3-year gap is a death sentence for a pop act. Your momentum slows down, younger groups emerge and take your spot. But in this case, the channel hit 100 million subscribers before the return even happened.
Which proves the demand hasn't waned at all. It's just been building up behind a dam.
Exactly.
And the dam is about to break right now, because they aren't just coming back to wave hello. They have a brand new release dropping almost immediately.
Their 3rd mini album is officially titled Deadline.
Deadline. Very dramatic. I like it.
And it is set to drop next week on February 27th.
Okay, so let's paint the full picture for you listening. You have a channel that just hit 100 million subscribers, the first musical artist ever to do it.
Yep.
You have a deeply engaged global fan base spanning India, Mexico, Brazil, Korea, and the US, all primed and ready. You have a 3-year hunger for a full group comeback.
Yeah.
And you have a new album dropping in exactly 7 days.
It is the perfect storm for digital metrics. And YouTube actually mentioned in their official blog post today that they are super proud to support artists with their twin engine of ads and subscriptions.
Could you just quickly explain that term for us, twin engine?
Yeah.
It sounds a bit like corporate marketing speak.
It is, but it's an accurate way to look at the business model. The twin engine refers to monetization. Ads are the revenue you get when people just happen to watch the video. Your casual viewers.
Right.
Subscriptions represent the core community that actively pays for things like YouTube Premium or buys channel memberships. When you have both the massive casual reach driving the ads and a dedicated following of 100 million driving the subs, the engine runs at maximum efficiency, you are getting revenue from pure volume and from intense loyalty.
And I think we are about to see that specific twin engine revving at maximum capacity next week. It really feels like this 100 million milestone isn't a finish line, it's just the starting line for this next phase.
I completely agree. It validates their entire strategy up to this point. High-quality music videos plus functional performance content that invites participation plus global accessibility equal complete digital dominance.
So to recap all of this for everyone listening, BLACKPINK is the first artist to hit 100 million YouTube subscribers. They've got a custom Red Diamond Award to prove it. A massive library with 9 videos in the Billion Views Club, including a raw dance practice video that proves you don't need $1 million special effects to go viral if you provide functional value. And a massive, highly anticipated comeback scheduled for February 27 with the new album, Deadline.
It is truly a masterclass in modern digital engagement. If you are a creator listening to this, or a marketer, or just someone trying to understand how culture actually moves across borders today, look closely at this data. Look at the diversity of those countries. Look at the functional mix of content types. This right here is the blueprint.
And that brings us to the big provocative question we want to leave you with today. We talked heavily about those 24-hour records. 90.4 million views in a single day for Pink Venom.
A record that still stands as one of the highest of all time.
But that was 3 years ago. The digital landscape has definitely changed since then. But now with 100 million subscribers about to get that new upload notification bell and a 3-year wait finally over, when Deadline drops next week, I have to ask, are we going to see the first ever 100 million view debut in 24 hours?
Well, the math certainly suggests it's possible. The global momentum is absolutely there. But the algorithm is always a tricky beast. We will have to see if the notifications go out fast enough.
We will definitely be watching that view counter next week. Thanks for deep diving with us today.
Always a pleasure.
See you next time.